Welcome back to the Mobile World Congress 2021, specifically the Spanish Pavilion, where we're giving a space for those Spain-based tech companies to give us a bit of an insight into their innovation strategies, their technology, their knowledge, and their business models. Next up, I'm joined on stage by Manuel Herranz, CEO of Pangeanic, which is a company that specializes in a very rare branch of AI called language processing, which is something that he'll talk to us about right now. The title of the speech is Echo, the Self-Driving Car of NLP. So welcome, Manuel, and whenever you're ready, the stage is yours.
Hello, so my name is Manuel Herranz. I'm CEO of Pangeanic, a company based in Valencia, Spain. I'd like to thank the Secretariat of State for Digitalization and Artificial Intelligence for having me here today. I'm going to talk about how data is revolutionizing the world we live in, the importance of it, and how it's becoming the driving force, the fuel of 21st century economies. Pangeanic has built a platform to process that kind of data, multilingual data, and language data that can be turned into value. Very brief summary, Pangeanic was born 20 years ago as a Japanese subsidiary. We had a number of national research programs with universities here in Spain, Polytechnic, and a number of European projects on language applied to problem solving, pattern recognition, anonymization, named entity recognition, and machine translations. Those are the big areas of the company. In 2021, we launched a proprietary technology called Deep Adaptive, which mimics very well what humans do, how people speak in the style and particular terminology. And this is what we are now. This is the situation as we see it. In 2021, there is a shift, there's a clash between the mindsets of how we used to do things in the 20th century and how much data is making us change and do things in a different way, particularly when data is feeding algorithms that better and better and better every day mimic human speech and augment the way that humans process information. The size of data in the world is just mind-boggling. Just to pick an example, few people know how many Gmail accounts and how much data Gmail processes every day. There are 1.8 billion users of Gmail in the world. It accounts for about a third of the email market, and it processes an average of 6.3 billion emails in a year. That means 3.5 emails being sent per second. There's an incredible amount of data, written data, in all the world's languages being sent out and being received and read by people. That is dominated by a single company. Imagine the power of that training set and how well that company can do with the data that we as users are giving to it for free. This is where we are. What you see above is the exponential growth in content creation, in content that we as humans will have to code with in the next few years. This is what we were in the 1970s and the 1980s before digitalization kicked in. Okay? With internet, things started to change. There was more and more data available, and we thought we would never be able to read as many newspapers on the web or articles. With the advent of the World Wide Web, it expands, and with the early digitalization, which is where we are now, machines are beginning to read what machines produce. When we are here, it will be definitely impossible to code with the amount of information that there is. We will need help from machines to understand cognitively how data is structured and gain insights in information. So AI is going to cause something that is perhaps we don't like very much, is going to cut cost of our services in a magnitude of 10. That's not 10%. That means that what we are paying for $100, €100 nowadays, it's going to cost 10, thanks to AI in not so far away future, which might be bad news for many companies. But our ability to make money will be multiplied by a magnitude of 100 thanks to AI, because it will make better cognitive humans. So I'm going to speak about an example that has been visionary for the work that we do. A car is made of 8,000 pieces, 8,000 parts. I used to work in the automotive industry some time ago, and that looks like a very complex machine. 8,000 pieces put together so you can be driven by your diesel or gas engine from work to home. When we look at self-driving cars, we can't even compare. It's a completely different animal. The amount of parts doesn't count. A self-driving car needs to understand through computer vision what is around it, that it has other cars around, that there is a cat, there is a dog, there is a child, there is a ball, and it has to stop. It has to mimic human behavior. It has to geolocalize where the car is in order to find the best route. It must be able to path plan the best route to the destination, and of course it has to have motion control and stop. So the amount of pieces is, we're not talking about more complex cars, we're talking about something that is completely different. That is what we, with data, are starting to become. And the amount of insights that we are having, we have the ability to deal with. Of course, there will be voice and questions and AI for questions and answers. You will be able to dialogue with your car. So based on this image is how we built Echo. Echo is a platform to process natural language. The vast amount of natural language in the scale that, well, hopefully, the Googles and the Gmails are producing. Better still, what we want to do with it is to extract knowledge from massive amounts of data, find sentiment, find key actors, find actions, relations between named entities in the data. That is Echo. And we believe that is the change, that is the fuel of society for the future. We sold this idea in projects to the European Commission, and they liked our vision. This is one of the projects in which we anonymize named entities for public administrations. And I'm not going to speak a lot about the commercial side of it because the talk is non-commercial, but it's worth mentioning. It's worth mentioning the solutions that Echo can provide. In here, you can see that persons have been identified, no matter what language. There are 3 languages in here. There is French, Spanish, and English. And we have identified automatically who is the person, what is the location, what is the organization. That, on a massive scale, can provide insights on the data that the machine is fed. Or it can be anonymized for a real-life application by the legal system. What this European project provides is GDPR compliance. That's pretty simple. By identifying the actors, we blank them out. Provides data sovereignty, something that is very important for states nowadays. Since companies like Google have already our data, ownership over our citizens' data is becoming more and more critical an issue. And well, it's an embedded process, and of course, it's a platform that enables the application of AI to other companies. Solutions that Echo provides to industry, well, key information, as I mentioned. A use case that I can mention is took place to Bankia, Spanish bank, that was recently purchased by number 4 to become number 1 for named entity recognition. Within their contracts, we understood, feeding the machine, who were the actors. So a number of lawyers and the legal team at Bankia didn't have to read the documents, but they could be automatically processed and information extracted in a CSV format. Veritone, a Nasdaq company that utilizes our data in order to create private translation machines for intelligence services and defense services. Amazon, obviously a data company, they buy data from us, augmented data to improve their AI and others. And in a very succinct way, that's all I had to say about Pangeanic.